All right, what is up, Pistons fans? Here to recap the Detroit Pistons lost to the Phoenix Suns 96 to 86 on this Sunday afternoon. So the first thing that I took from the game was Coach Casey's well, something that we've always known about Dwayne Casey is that he loves his vets. And this game just provides more evidence that he's really gonna stick it out with his veterans. So let's first start off in the first half. Isaiah Stewart comes in, only plays 57 seconds in the first half. That means Coach Casey played Mason Plumley and Jahlil Okafor for the entire first half. And obviously, granted, we were down by 17 points. So even if he was trying to win, playing these veterans didn't do anything. Sekou Doumbouya also, he comes in for maybe like 2 or 3, maybe a 4-minute stretch, nowhere to be seen for the rest of the game. Some other things that from Casey, which I saw with the vets, were Wayne Ellington coming in the game. So Ellington was brought as a team culture guy, but obviously from what we can see, if the players are struggling, they're gonna put in Ellington. And I don't really mind it, but it's not good for the optics when you look at it from the whole with his vets. Another veteran, Delon Wright. So Delon Wright gets extended minutes. Now he had a good game against Phoenix, and that's fine, but you cannot play this man for the entire third quarter. I understand that the guard rotation is weak without Killian, without D Rose, but are you really gonna put out Delon Wright for the entire third quarter, then expect him to produce in the fourth quarter in the clutch? It's just beyond me. And then when they play their backup guard Frank Jackson, he's not getting that many minutes, although he struggled a little bit. But in the end, you also have Saban Lee. Why not try something new? Why can't you space out the minutes? Why you have to play heavy to player? Why have to give minutes that are heavy to players who aren't even that impactful? So, no disrespect to Delon Wright, but I was kind of frustrated with Coach Casey just playing all these veterans over these young. I mean, the whole point of this season is to not only rebuild but to develop our young guys. That's literally what he said, and Coach Casey said it in press conferences. So it's kind of confusing to me. Why he's not doing that. But on a more positive note, let's talk about some positives from this game. So first, Jerami Grant, he continued his hot streak from his Phoenix game and his Milwaukee game and the game before that. He's just been on a roll, scoring 28 points in this game. He balled out in the first quarter and the third quarter specifically. He's looking more and more comfortable, and I think an underrated part of Jerami Grant's game is his passing game. His passing game, it's still developing and still kind of shaky, but one of the main complaints that a lot of people had with Grant so far was that he only looks for his own shot. But we can see some signs of he's getting better awareness of the floor. He had a couple nice assists in this game, so it's great to see. One thing I do want to know about Grant, though, was that he was exhausted, it looked like, in the fourth quarter towards the end, which is kind of the consequence of playing the entire first and third quarter. So that may be on coaching, or that just may have been how the game went, but that's a kind of a consequence. So when Grant's done, then you're just left with Blake Griffin doing isolation 3-pointers and Wayne Ellington just doing a screen and pops, which are fine. But I mean, I feel like nowadays, if we're in a clutch game and you're gonna have your veteran starters there, at least like Jerami Grant, no matter how tired he is, just let him control the pace of the game. And not only will be beneficial for the team, I think, because I think he is our guy, and I trust him more than Blake Griffin as of right now. Although with the exhaustion, it was a little tough, but I think it'll benefit Jerami Grant himself, because he needs as much time to actually develop into a scorer that he's trying to become. And I do believe if he continues this run, he will be an all-star in this league, and possibly all-star this year, and possibly in the contention for most improved player. We'll see how that one goes. Some other two highlights were two players I want to highlight that had really good games were Isaiah Stewart and Saddiq Bey. Isaiah Stewart, like I mentioned before, he only came in the first half for 57 seconds, but when he came in the second half, he just started playing like Isaiah Stewart. He was getting into Gobert's head. He was getting some putbacks, getting rebounds. His energy was just unmatched, and it was one of the reasons why the Pistons made a run to make this a close game. My only knock on him is moving forward. I do realize that with Stewart, now since he's coming from the bench, and the announcers mentioned this too, he's going to have to learn how to keep his energy like he's gonna have to learn how to keep that high energy, but don't don't let it get too out of control. Because he did have 4 fouls in 14 minutes. Now, granted, Mason Plumley was in foul trouble, but in the future, if Isaiah Stewart wants to have that starting role, he's gonna have to find a way to be a durable player for the entire game, an available player. We can't afford to have him foul out. But when he's coming off the bench, I mean, he's just bringing that 1-2 punch. And I think maybe he didn't play that much because of the height disadvantage with Rudy Gobert. But even then, like when he was on Rudy Gobert, when he was on Derek Favors, I mean, the dude's a 6'9" center. He plays against people that are taller than him all the time, I'd assume. So it's kind of frustrating to see him not take the floor. But he had a great game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see his growth, because now we know what he is. He's this high energy guy. The Pistons are obviously a lot better when he's on the floor, but can he maintain this for extended periods of time? And once he does that, I think we can kiss Mason Plumlee, or at least not Mason Plumlee move to the bench, but we can at least kiss Jahlil Okafor out of the rotation for sure. The last player I wanted to touch on was Saddiq Bey. He's just been a baller every single game. Knocked down a couple threes, playing good defense. I mean, it's literally everything you could ask for the 19th draft selection. I mean, he's doing wonders work. He's ahead of his curve. He looks to be like an NBA veteran, and yeah, just continuing to see his growth is it's fun to watch. It's fun to see him grow, and I know I'm a bit higher on him than a lot of other people are. I think some people see him as a player who's going to be just a rotation player, 3-and-D rotation player, but I really think he has elements and flashes of like Chris Middleton to me a little bit. And I think if he spends an off season working on his mid-range, or not the mid-range, but like more just his game outside of the three-point line, I think that will benefit his game a lot. And I think he could actually be not only a starter rotation player, I think an actual star, an all-star. I think Saddiq Bey has the potential to be an all-star, definitely this year. So other than that, though, those are my main takeaways from this game. It was a tough loss, but I mean, we're 2-8, can't complain for those who want to do the tank. It is. I was thinking this myself when I was watching the game. Like, it's so conflicting because you want to tank, you want to lose these games. Sure, you want to get that high draft pick, but when you're actually like inside, when you're watching the game, and I bet the players feel the same way, they're playing, they actually want to win this game. And as a fan, I also want to still win the game, so it's kind of conflicting. But in the end, we can't be mad. Competitive loss, down 17 in the first half, and I really think that can be preventable if KC does the right thing. If Coach Casey plays his young guys in the first half and consistently plays Sekou Doumbouya, I mean, we may have a team, but it's in his hands. It's in Coach Casey's hands. He's the one who determines how fast these players grow. So we'll see what happens with that. But other than that, the Pistons will take on the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday, so we have some time here. But yeah, other than that, enjoy your Sunday night. Watch the NFL playoffs, and yeah, take care. And I'll see you on Wednesday after the Bucks game.